ABDE is a parallelogram and BCD is an isosceles triangle. We need to find the angles AED and BAE. So instead of AED and BAE, I'm going to give those angles names so it's easier to refer to them. So angle AED, I'm going to call that angle X. And BAE, I'm going to call that angle Y. Now it's easier to talk about them. So first what we have to do here, there's probably more than one way to solve this problem. I'm going to show you guys the way that comes to me most easily, but you may have another method of solving this. So I'm going to start by looking at this triangle BCD, and I'm going to notice that it's isosceles. So an angle that is isosceles also has two equal angles, and those are the angles that are that do not share the equal sides. So that will be these two angles that are exactly the same as each other. Now, if I know that the total of angles in a triangle is 180, and I know about angle BCD, I know that that angle is 54, then let's find out what is left over. Well, 180 minus 54 degrees leaves us with 126 degrees. So between this angle CBD and angle CDB, I know that there are 126 degrees, and that those two angles are equal. So I'm going to cut that in half to find out how much each angle is worth. 126 degrees divided by 2 gives us 63 degrees. So I know that this angle here is 63 degrees, and I know that this angle here is also 63 degrees. Okay, so now I can use this information to find out the angles that I need. First of all, my first thought is, if I have a straight line, the total angle on that line, on one side of that line, is 180. So if that angle is cut by another straight line, I know that the total of these two angles is 180. So if I subtract 63 degrees from 180, I'm going to know what the other side of this angle is. 180 minus 63 leaves us with 117 degrees. So I just found out the value of this angle here, 117 degrees. And if you remember the law from the last video, opposite angles in a parallelogram are equal. So in this parallelogram, here are parallel sides. Side AB is parallel to side ED, and side AE is parallel to side BD. So I know that angle ABD is actually the same as angle AED, which we called X. So we already have one of our answers. So angle X is equal to angle ABD, which is equal to 117 degrees. So we have part of our answer. So if we know, and let's find that out. Let's write down why we know that, because opposite angles in a parallelogram are equal. Okay. So if we know that those two angles are equal and the total number of angles, so total angles in a quadrilateral, any quadrilateral, is 360 degrees. So if we know that, if we already know two of the angles, then we can subtract that from 360. So in this total of 360 degrees, we know that there are two angles that are 117 degrees. If we subtract that, we will get 126 degrees. And now we know that angle Y plus angle BDE together are 126 degrees. And since they are equal by the same law, which says that opposite angles in a parallelogram are equal, we know that we can cut 126 degrees in half, and we already know that that is 63 degrees. So we found out that angle Y is 63 degrees. So there are our two answers. Thanks for watching.